All right, welcome back everybody. Today what we're doing is trying to replace the window regulator on a 2010 Crown Vic. So I've already managed to take the door panel off, took out the controls. Next step, I believe, is I need to take off the speaker. They say to take this off, but I'm not sure why we really need to do that. I'm not going to do it until such times as I figure out that, yep, they're right, I have to take that off. So hopefully I really don't have to, because I don't have any hardware to put it back. Anyhow, so let's get started here. And what I'm going to do next is work on the speaker to get that out. Need a Phillips head screwdriver, which I happen to have here. And we'll just take this off. I don't know why, but for some reason I don't think the radio in this thing is hooked up. It might be. Just carefully remove these, and there's 3 of them. And I'll be quite honest with you, I've been looking at this from where I am now as far as taking it apart, and I've never done one before. Don't know that I'll want to do one again. But I've gotten this far, so. All right, speaker's out. Put the speaker screws with the speaker. Okay, there's the cable that they talk about cutting. There's no way in heck you're gonna cut that with a pair of wire cutters. So, I want you to take out a bunch of rivets too. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the box of the new one. I'm going to bring it over here and open up the instructions. I know, unusual. But I'm going to open up the instructions and see what it says, and we'll go from there. So give me a minute to get that box opened up, and we'll be right back. All right, so here's where we are right now. Lots of drilling. So what it is these things have rivets in from Ford. Everything's riveted. The regulator had rivets in it. So what I ended up having to do, I was just not real comfortable pounding on the window as hard as I had to get the darn thing out. So I ended up drilling most of it out, and then did tap out the rivet part itself, which would be here. And then I did get both of them out, because this is the little peephole that you have to go through to drill the other one out. I got it out. And then they want me, there's absolutely no instructions that came with this, and no bolts like, you know, the reviews that I read online. It comes with more rivets. I don't think I want to put rivets in. This bracket is screwed to the motor. This bracket is screwed to the motor but riveted to the car. Now, do I want to drill out rivets and then re-rivet it? Or do I want to take these screws out, use the bracket that's already riveted to the car, and use that? I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to take these rivets out. I'm going to unscrew it and then put that one in. These rivets down here have to be drilled out because that's what's holding the bottom of the regulator, and what's holding the top of the regulator is these two nuts on and studs on here. So that's easy. Yeah, that's easy. Sure. I need to get my vacuum in here and get all the metal shavings out of there so it doesn't rattle and rust. I don't know if those are aluminum rivets or not. I think maybe they are. They also wanted me to take this off, and I have no idea why I need to take that off. I might see later why I need to take that off, but for right now, I'm not going to. So, let me work on drilling these two guys out, taking these two guys off, and unscrewing this so that the whole darn thing will come out. Let me work on that for a little bit. I'm not going to bore you with all of that, and I will come back when I have made some progress. All right, well, here we are a couple hours later. If I ever have another window regulator that goes out, I'm going to put a strap on that window and hold it up, bolt it to the frame, and call it done. This is a pain in the butt. So anyway, there's the old one. And basically what happened is I don't know if you can see that. There we go. The cable got all discombobulated there, wrapped around itself. That's why it wouldn't go back up. So anyway, I got the old one out. I got the new one in, except the kit came with rivets. And now I have a nice rivet gun, but those are too big for the rivet gun that I have. And I think what I want to do, basically when I came over here, I did take out the bolts. All right, turn the music off because this speaker actually works. So I took the screws out of the old one, took the screws out of the new one, put it in here, put the screws back in. Perfect. Works great. I did not have to take this off. Everything just slid right in there with no problem. Unfortunately, down here, I'm not going to be able to put those rivets in. I don't want to put the rivets in, and I don't want to try and rivet the windows. What a pain in the butt. If someone tells you, oh, just tap out those rivets, forget it. That's no. I was this close to breaking that window, I'm sure, and I really didn't want to do that. So I got my die grinder out, just ground them all down to nothing, and tapped the rivet out once I got there. Made a mess of it, but I got it done. So unfortunately, I don't have the hardware to put it back together. When I moved, I boxed stuff up, and I think that box might have got lost or thrown away or something because I don't have a bunch of small hardware. So for another day, I will be getting some hardware, and I need 4 bolts, nuts, washers to put the, right here is where the window bolts in, and through here, I don't know if you can see it, is the only access to that one. So that made that one a pain in the behind. But anyway, the hard part is done. Now I'm going to clean up. We have a road trip tomorrow. Got to go pick up another car that I bought, and that's on a different video. I will come back and show you the final steps of putting this together. But basically, the old one did slide out, no problem, and the new one slid in, no problem. A couple of bolts on top held it in, lined it up at the bottom, tightened them down. it was pretty easy once I got there. The hardest part of this whole thing really is getting the rivets off. And they are not meant to just fall off or get, I don't know, maybe my drill bits are not as tungsten hard as they claim to be. But I broke 2 bits just trying to drill them out. And, you know, it wasn't technique. It was the rivets. The center part of the rivet was just a harder metal, and it would not tap out at all. Like I said, I was this close to breaking a window, and I said, I'm not going to do that. So my next step was to get the death wheel, put a grinding disc on it, and just grind them down to nothing. But I was able to do it with just a die grinder. So there we go. We'll come back once I get the hardware, and basically it's just a matter of putting 2 bolts there on the bottom, 2 bolts to hold the window in, putting the trim back on, the felt trim back on, so that the window slides up and down smoothly. Testing it all before we button it back up. I have the window in here. See, I've removed the rivets from the window, so I'm just going to get some hardware and a couple of flat washers, couple of lock washers. That's going to hold that window in place. It'll go up and down, and there we go. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. I'm sorry this was just a bit of a mundane, pain in the butt job that took me way too long. But hey, I've watched videos of guys that in 6 minutes they've got the thing out and replaced. And of course, that's the art of video, but it's a pain in the butt. I'm going to tell you, leave an afternoon if you're going to be doing this. Unless your rivets are not as strong as the ones that were in this. That was the worst part. Trying to get them out without messing anything else up. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you.